Hello everybody, welcome back to Whimsicraft. This is episode 14. Last episode we worked in this area over here. We did the back of this place. And yeah, it came out very, very nice. The fallen tree, the little details around here. It's looking absolutely fantastic. I haven't actually done any more editing of the area since I recorded last. So that's great. We've got nothing to catch you guys up on. But yeah, today I think we are going to finish this place. Sounds crazy, but yeah, it's very possible. We have not got very much left to do. So this week it's all about completion, that final push towards me getting just happy with how the build looks. And then we'll be able to move on to some bigger and better stuff. So I'll kind of point out the things that we need to get done, and then we'll kind of go from there. So what we've got here is we've got the shrine that we built a few episodes back, and it's looking great, but a bit exposed. What we need to do is we kind of need to at least give it a nice border of trees around. As you can see, I've got a little bit of space here, and that's just for one more line of trees to go all the way around and kind of close off this area. Then we've got this big patch, which I want to completely cover. I'm going to put more flowers here. I think that would be a nice little touch. We've used them once. Only using something once is quite risky because it can feel a bit out of place. But the fallen tree, because it's quite similar to the trees, of course, it feels normal. But if there were just one set of flowers, I think it would look a bit strange. So we're going to build in this area. Now, let's fly up and have a look. So as you can see here, we've kind of got this like secluded cove area, which I'm a very big fan of. But shaders kind of hide it, but if we drop in the water here, see the mud kind of stops. Yeah, we never finished doing the swamp area. We kind of started it, made it look complete on the top, and then kind of abandoned it. So that needs doing as well, and I believe some of this river's edge needs a little bit of polishing up. If I dive in the water here, you can see it doesn't actually look that good. There's a bit of sand and stuff that needs removing. But other than that, we're getting really, really close. So I'm not going to quite work on this yet, and that's because I've made some progress in the industrial district instead, which we're going to hop over to now. Just before I get into what I actually want to do in the industrial district today, I want to quickly show that this farm is now working. After one death last week, I have absolutely 100% finished this farm, and it works perfectly. Basically, you sit down here, go over here, flip this lever, it does the thing. I can crouch under here, and then place some stoning using my auto clicker. That's not the button. And there we go. If I do this, and then go out here, there you go. Very cool. Now it looks like that we've got a tiny bit of bug fixing to do, but that's alright. We can get to that very soon, but I won't show it in detail because I want to move on to the next farm, which is going to be a cobblestone stone generator. It's probably a stone generator actually. I can either use fortune or silk touch on it, and I will probably build it maybe over here. Who knows? The decoration of this farm will also just happen. But yeah, anyway, let's go. Before I get into anything in particular, I thought I would quickly take you through a process that I go through before I kind of start anything big on the server. And that's where I literally go into free cam here, put myself generally somewhere safe. I'm actually in a tree over there. Should be safe. But essentially I just fly around my base and figure out what's the worst part of it to try and rectify that, I guess. And so I can see I've got a big gap here, which I mentioned last video, that's going to be rectified. But also this area I really hate. I think it looks poor. The terraforming is not good. It's uneven. It's bland as well. So I want to try and do something clever with this. And I feel like the best way of doing that is kind of closing this off a little bit to allow the river to run more naturally. Because what I decided that would be nice was, of course, the river kind of connects in two areas. It kind of, this area connects and this area connects, which is cool. It's nice, it looks cool. But we kind of got this like main river channel, and then this kind of bit that's a bit strange. So underneath here is actually the cave, and that's why this looks so weird and why I've kind of just put some mud down and ignored it. But I feel like this area is not quite right. I think this area is already like quite low energy and protected. The fast running river is here, and then this kind of like slower water kind of just drifting. And yeah, it's kind of just gonna connect these together, fill this in, get rid of this, and yeah, overall it's just gonna turn into a more well-rounded, complete looking area. I'm not going to pull the tree line beyond all the way around here. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think the forest is necessary to keep contained slightly, especially as I'm going to use this land for something else. So yeah, first time lapse, we're going to try and make as much progress in this general area as much as possible. Let's go. Okay, that time-lapse was not the most incredible or impressive time-lapse I've ever made, but it was successful. It achieved what I wanted to achieve, which is simply just kind of melting the mud into the dirt. Just kind of having a nice, easy transition without a hard edge or anything like that. However, we've got a little bit more work to do, and I'll show you exactly why. If I hop over to this side and see, hop down, see, I've got this kind of like the gravel comes in, the coarse dirt comes in, and then the riverbed is kind of scattered with kind of bits of cobbles and stuff to mold them together perfectly. That's something that needs to happen. So that's kind of the next steps. And as well as that, I do also want to put some cobbles and stuff on the land. So we're basically going to do 2 sets of gradienting. I did say I might only have one time, that's why I don't know if I mentioned that, but that was kind of my plan. But you know what, we'll hop straight back into another one, because why not? I'm going to gradient out this way. I'm going to gradient out this way, and I'm also going to gradient out the other way, and it's going to be pretty great. So yeah, let's hop straight back into it. So it's good prep for what we're actually going to do in this area. Let's go. So this next clip is a bit of a funny one. What happened was I saw that Matt was AFK and I was like, hee hee, I wonder if I can scare him with my creeper note block. Unfortunately, he didn't have his headphones on, so I needed to come up with a different plan. And I decided the best thing to do would to be check where he is. And then I decided that a sign would be the best idea. It might be quite fun. And then I realised I was slightly trapped, but so now I've managed to escape. I'm going to go up here, and I think there might be a sign in this chest. And I was right. And, you know, eat a little snack, make sure I'm still not holding anything in the offhand or anything like that. Make sure he still hasn't moved. Be very careful. Sweep down far away so we can't hear him either. I was being so careful here because I really wanted to scare him. And, yeah. Now it's time to go back in. I could definitely see he wasn't moving there, so then I was eventually happy enough to slowly crawl towards him. I'm not sure why I was being so careful here, but you know, it is what it is. If we get under here real quick, drop down, and I'm gonna leave a sign for him. Now the funny thing about this is I do successfully place this sign down, but he didn't suspect me, which was very funny. So the next day he logged in and I was like, hey, did you enjoy my sign? And he said, oh, I thought it was tram. I was like, nice. And yeah, here I am. Making sure he's not looking at his screen or anything, but no, he was just happily AFKing at his potato farm. Strange farm, by the way, mate. Not sure what you're doing with that, but good for you, I guess. And then, go for something creepy, because, you know, why not? And there we go. That was a successful little prank like that. This is the kind of shenanigans I get up to when I'm bored on the server and I'm procrastinating building a tree. Okay, I think we've had enough of like weird little time lapses and stuff like that. Let's have a quick yap about what we've got. So you can see that I've made some like weird random progress. I've been a little bit scatterbrained and disorganized this week, but this was something that I just kind of made on a whim without really recording or thinking about it, and it actually brought up a really interesting point. Kind of showed me something that I realized. I realized that if we zoom out, this whole forest is very dense. Like obviously you can kind of see where the path runs, over here and through there. But other than that, this place is super, super dense. You can barely see the ground in some areas. Like here, can't see the ground, which is cool. But I think we need a bit of change, and I think this area is the right place for it. I think what we can do is if we have enough flowers, we can kind of spread everything out and kind of have a more open, interesting area. By the way, Tram's been posting random coordinates in chat for ages, and I have no idea why. But yeah, I think what I want to do here is I kind of want to surround the flowers in trees, but not put any trees inside the flowers. If we go over here, where I've done flowers before, look, there's a tree that's like pretty much inside where the flowers are. And it made it so that it was just like a tiny little highlight, a little pop of white that's barely visible from some angles, but it's just very pretty. But if we go over here, I kind of want them to be more visible. I think it would be cooler to actually be able to see them. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put a nice ring of trees all the way around, and we're going to kind of see how it feels, see whether, well, of course we're going to need extra grass and ferns, which I haven't put in yet. And then, yeah, it's going to look really, really nice. But first, here's a little funny clip that I got a couple of days back. Hello!
Hello, Toby.
I have some stuff for you.
Oh, let's go. It's not like we arranged this meeting.
It's not like this has been planned for ages, because I've been super busy and nothing's worked out properly. But anyway,
okay.
512 glass, there you go. How much? It should be, yeah, if it's a diamond for 16, and so that's going to be 4 per stack, so that's 32 diamonds.
Really?
Yeah, tinted glass is a complete pain. So, it is, yeah, on the pricier side, but, you know. Let's go. And a tip as well, let's get it.
No, you said on the pricier side. I thought it was way too cheap.
Oh, okay. Well, I do have automatic amethyst. It's not. It just takes a while because the farm's kind of slow.
That's fair. That's fair. You want to craft some dispensers for me?
Once the new update comes out and you can space to replenish a dispenser, sure. Until then, have fun.
There's a kid somewhere. There's a kid in here. I need the same amount of dispensers as well.
Do you at least have plenty of bows?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be a long weekend. It's not even a weekend. That's how long it's gonna take.
It's gonna take all week. Okay.
Good luck.
You better get on with what you're doing then. Alright. See you, bro.
If only somebody helped me, you know. if only.
I'm halfway through a time lapse. Give me a second. Alright.
If only.
Let me walk through the forest. And I think as we approach, it'll be quite obvious to see where I've been working. And it's here. It's very open, which I think was a good choice. I think the flowers deserve more attention, and I think it's come together really, really nicely. I've put in all the detail of the grass and the ferns have come in now, and if we do a zoom out, it's definitely different. There's a gap, and you can see the gap, but I think it makes sense because of the flowers. I think it works, but I think it might be missing something. So a while back, I had a small gap similar to this, where I had a little gap. It's not worthy of a whole tree, but I was thinking if there was something else. And if we go in here, there's a little baby ash tree, and I was thinking that maybe we could do something similar, Maybe with birch? I'm not entirely sure, but I think there's something there that we can do. Maybe put it over here, perhaps? I'm not quite sure because there's a lot of birch leaves around here already. But yeah, I really like how this area looks. I think the cleanliness of the lack of gravel's really nice as well. Gravel would be quite distracting if there was a lot of it, so avoiding it in general has helped the flowers pop even further. And it's just starting to rain, which is great. We get even more atmospherics, which is lovely. But yeah, I'm kind of happy with this. I might add a little bit more. As I said, the little tree might appear, or it might not. I haven't built it yet. But for now, we got something very simple to do. We got to go this way. Very simply, I'm just going to do a nice arc of trees all the way around. Very simple. Nothing too crazy. To just kind of fill this space. Make sure that this isn't too open. I think I won't build a tree that overhangs this area so you can at least see that there's something there. And it also makes this feel less out of place with another gap in the forest. And I also, if you look at it from this angle, I quite like it because it's just like barely visible, and as we zoom in, you can just see tiny flashes of white. Very subtle, which is great. Because this is currently one of my favourite angle of the base because it shows off the most. But I'm glad that the back is getting some love. But yeah, let's go and continue building. I was actually having quite a lot of fun building these trees. Normally the trees can be a little bit of a chore, but actually I've got some, oh my god, it's the end of the week and I need to get a video motivation going, and it's been pretty good. So yeah, let's sweep round, and of course we need a floor too, but that will just appear. I don't think that's like worthy of a time lapse or a break or anything like that. But anyway, let's go. Alright people, we have had some success. It is now the next day, at the time of recording. And yeah, I managed to finish up all of this. Now, as you can see, it's not completely done. We haven't got any of the details in. There's no grass, no ferns, no bushes, nothing like that. But I think I want to quickly zoom out and show you a slight modification that I kind of didn't mention before. If I zoom out, you can see over here the forest is very dense. Now here the forest is actually not that dense. Like, sure, some of the trees are quite close together, but all in all, I would say the trees are a little bit further out, further away than they normally are. And that's deliberate. I think that this area, it makes sense that the denser bits of forest would be nearer the water, because that's what the trees need. The trees need water. So I would say that the forest might get slightly less dense as we kind of trickle out, and there's also a gradient into what will be here in the future. I'll get back to that later. And yeah, so for now we need to do a little bit more work here. We're going to get some nice big bushes down. We're going to get all the grass and ferns and all the tiny little other details that I like to add, lichen and mushrooms and all of that kind of thing. And yeah, it's going to be really, really nice. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the moss carpets to kind of finish off this gradient and make it look nice. We do have space here for something, but I think I'm not. I think I'm going to kind of chill. I'm not going to keep expanding forever, otherwise I'll never finish the forest, you know. And over here, it looks like there might be space for something, but again, I think I might just go for a bush to kind of cleanly finish this area off without something massive changing. Alright, let's go and do that. Okay, everybody, final update over here. I just got a beacon. Yeah, there's a little bit of stream with cake. Got a beacon. It's pretty cool. The main thing I built is this little stone generator. I have never seen a design like this before. I don't know if I've invented this, or it's been independently invented a million times, or it's just trash. But either way, what you can do is you can stand here, look forward, and then you have 0% loss rate on the stone, because it all gets instantly picked up by the hopper minecart. And of course I can switch to fortune to get cobblestone. And actually this farm is pretty cool. So all the blocks will get shot. The tube go all the way over here. Now I've just got a little sorter, which sorts them out and then puts them into stone and cobblestone chests respectively. So yeah, once the free stone and cobblestone runs out in the central area, it'll be pretty handy. Also, I moved the obsidian block down a few blocks, and now this farm is perfect as well. So yeah, what we can do now is we can go back and have a look at the base again. It is finished. Let's go, everybody. We did it. I finally finished my starter base after a couple of months. We ignore that. It's done. I'm super, super happy with how it's turned out. This is the best starter base I've ever made. And probably because it's the biggest, but you know. I genuinely believe this is one of the prettiest bases I've made in a very long time, maybe ever. The outer edge here was literally just a simple gradient, pulled out a bit of the moss, pulled out some of the bushes, and it kind of feels complete. If we hop into free cam and put on some shaders, we'll get a lovely, lovely look. With the rain, it doesn't look that pretty, but it's certainly atmospheric. And yeah, I'm super, super happy with this. Now, obviously this isn't the only thing I'm going to build this season of Whimsicraft, so there are some other plans. Now, quickly before I tell you, thank you guys for watching the video. If you enjoyed, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to all that fantastic stuff. And let me tell you, my plans for my mega base are